私たちが暮らしてきた東京が実は嘘だって言ったら信じる？
To say Shin Megami Tensei 5 has been a long time coming is quite an understatement. The game was announced more than 4 years ago at Nintendo's official unveiling for the Switch, but there is plenty of reason, despite the painfully long wait, why so many are just as eager today as they were at the announcement. It's because SMT at its core has an almost singular appeal, even when compared to its sister series, the wildly successful Persona games. SMT and its brutal post-apocalyptic world can be deeply cynical and darkly humorous. It allows you to navigate the nightmare as you see fit, aligning yourself with whomever you choose, setting you on a path toward a particular ideology. In our brief hands-on time with SMT5 so far, the game seems intent on maintaining the foundation of the dearly beloved series, while also making a considered effort to feel new. Due to embargo restrictions, I'm not allowed to show any of my own footage and will instead be relying on previously released trailers as well as screenshots I've taken.
本当に僕にそんな力があるのなら。
だが、神はそれを許してはいない。
彼の存在そのものが主への冒涜であるということ。
そうか。戦いは避けられない。この世界をどうするつもりだ。案ずるな。君一人を生かせはしない。
There's an undeniable familiarity to the opening of SMT5. It's reminiscent of Nocturne's beginning hour. In a similar vein, you become acquainted with your schoolmates, receiving brief insight into their various personalities. It doesn't take long for Tokyo, where the game begins, to get completely destroyed. The player character wakes up in a ruined world, seemingly little more than an arid, sand-filled apocalyptic city. While the setup is indeed familiar, exploring a demon-infested Tokyo is essential to the series' DNA, what SMT5 presents is still intriguing even if you've done this dance before. What the story does well during its opening is how much information it withholds and how much uncertainty that lack of knowledge creates. There's a pervasive sense of unease that infects even the smallest moment. When things are quiet and still, they can feel so quiet and still that it's discomforting. SMT5 nails the sensation of overwhelming loneliness that waking up in a devastated world would generate. It's also hard to be sure if anyone you meet is really what they seem, partly because the game cautions you to be wary of deceit, and partly because you know almost nothing in the beginning. There is no exact or drawn-out exposition detailing why this tragedy happened.
君の意志に従い、共に戦おう。
As you do try and navigate through the dire circumstances, you'll quickly learn that SMT5 places a strong emphasis on exploration. Scattered and sometimes hidden throughout are small creatures known as Mimen. Gustav, a shopkeeper who manages to be both charming and creepy, wants you to fetch these Mimen and bring them back to him. The more Mimen you collect, the more Gustav will reward you with various items. Finding Mimen also awards Glory, a special currency used to buy miracles, which provide powerful permanent buffs. While the prizes for finding Mimen are enough incentive on their own, the act of locating them is enjoyable because of how mobile you are and because of how the areas have a nice touch of verticality. The player character can quickly dash for as long as desired, so getting from one area to another is a breeze. To find every secret, such as Mimen or treasure chests, you'll also have to engage in a bit of platforming, climbing on top of various obstacles or leaping from one object to the next. It's nothing too extreme, but the wrinkle it does provide makes it more engaging than stereotypical JRPG exploration. There are also small colored orbs that occasionally litter the ground, not unlike the Spira birds in Monster Hunter Rise. You automatically collect the orbs upon running over them. These orbs restore things like health and mana, not only providing yet another reason to explore, but they sometimes prevent a trip into the menus or to a save station to heal, an appreciated convenience, one that doesn't seem so readily available that it can become a crutch.
太古より法の神とそれ以外の神々は争い合っておった。
Combat is in many ways extremely similar to past SMT games. Once again, SMT5 uses the press turn battle system, where exploiting an enemy's weakness or performing a critical hit provides extra actions during a fight. Conversely, if an enemy exploits your weaknesses or performs a critical hit against you, you actually lose actions. Press turn is such an effective system because of how important both offense and defense are in equal measure. It also encourages you to think carefully about each action since the rewards or the punishment can be so severe. New to the battle system are Magatsui skills. The Magatsui gauge builds up over time, and once full, a skill can be deployed, such as making all attacks, including magical ones, critical for an entire turn. Considering how precious critical hits are to the press turn system, such a skill is invaluable, meaning you definitely want to have a full gauge before going into a big battle when possible. I've only just barely scratched the surface on everything the game has to offer, but so far it seems like SMT5 is delivering on many of the hallmarks that make Shin Megami Tensei so special. Those who have been intimidated by or are simply unfamiliar with the series should know that there are easier difficulty options available and that the game does a solid job of walking the player through each individual mechanic. For more detailed thoughts, look forward to my full review next month.